What you just saw was noise.
A ghost, a stat, a quote, a claim.
This is the ocean we swim in.
But what if I told you that every single piece of misinformation, every viral conspiracy, every truth that spreads like digital wildfire, contains within it a secret trail, a hidden origin point that, if you can find it, collapses the entire story like a house of cards?
This is not about debunking. This is about archaeology.
Welcome to Method and Mystery.
I'm your name, and today we are going underground.
We are learning the one skill that makes you immune to 90% of online manipulation.
We are going source hunting. This is Source Tracing 101, finding the origin of a viral claim.
By the end of this investigation, you will possess a forensic toolkit that allows you to dissect any viral story, follow its digital DNA back to its birth, and see whether it was born in a research lab, a satire site, or a malicious imagination.
If you're ready to stop being a passenger in the information age and start being a detective, you need to subscribe right now. This single skill is the difference between being informed and being infected. Hit subscribe, and let's begin the hunt. Let's start with a modern parable. In 2020, a video exploded across the internet. It showed a tired-looking woman in scrubs in a parking garage, claiming to be a nurse named Catherine from New York.
She delivered an emotional, trembling monologue into her phone. The hospitals were empty. COVID-19 was a hoax.
The ambulances were just driving around. It was raw, visceral, and it spread like absolute lightning. Millions shared it. It was proof.
It was a first-hand account from the front lines.
It felt undeniable.
Until someone did what we are about to learn.
They didn't argue with her claims. They simply asked, "Who is she?" And the trail went cold. No Catherine matched that description at any New York hospital. The parking garage didn't match any hospital. The scrubs were generic. The video had first appeared on a known conspiracy channel. The source wasn't a nurse. It was an actress. The entire world-shaking testimony evaporated because someone traced it back to a null point of fabricated source. This is the power of source tracing. You don't fight the flood of misinformation. You find its spring and stick a rock in it. The first principle of our method is this: separate the claim from the carrier. The claim is the what. The virus is real. The virus is fake. The election was stolen. The election was secure. The carrier is the who and the where. Who is telling you this? Where did it first appear?
Our brains are wired to fuse them together.
A shocking claim delivered by a sympathetic figure, a nurse, a soldier, a concerned MOM becomes credible because of the emotional wrapper. Source tracing is the act of surgically removing the claim from this emotional carrier and examining it under the cold light of provenance. The first question is never, "Is this true?" The first question is always, "Where did this come from?"
And you must ask it with the skepticism of an archivist finding a lost Shakespeare play in a pizza shop attic.sr. Let's build our toolkit, step by step. Tool number 1. The reverse image search. This is your digital shovel. That shocking photo of a tsunami cloud over Dubai. The eerie angel caught on a security camera. The picture of a historical figure with a prophetic quote.
Right-click, search image with Google,
or drag it into tineye.com.
Instantly, you will see every other place that image has lived online.
You will find it on stock photo sites as generic storm cloud. You will find the angel was a piece of digital art from 2017 on DeviantArt. You will find the quote was pasted over the portrait last Tuesday. This one tool shatters 50% of visual evidence in seconds. It reveals the life cycle of an image, often born as mundane art or unrelated news, then kidnapped and repurposed to serve a narrative years later. Tool number 2. The keyword origin crawl. For claims, quotes, and text-based stories, you become a linguistic archaeologist. Take a unique phrase from the viral claim,
put it in quotation marks and search it on Google.
But here's the critical move.
Use the Tools button and set the date range to custom range. Go back
to the earliest instance you can find. You are not looking for where it's being discussed now. You are looking for the patient zero of the text. You will often watch the story mutate in reverse.
The grand, elaborate conspiracy
theory of 2024 will, in 2022, be a speculative Reddit comment.
In 2020, it will be a joke on 4chan. You are following the breadcrumbs back to the first crumb. This is how you discovered the Momo challenge was a piece of Japanese sculpture turned into a viral panic by tabloids. This is how you learn that a famous, inspiring quote was never said by the historical figure it's attached to. It was written for a movie.
Tool number 3. The domain autopsy.
This is for when the source is a website. A breaking news story comes from Global News Network or the Science Journal. You must perform an autopsy on the domain. Use whois.com. When was this domain registered?
Was it created 3 days before this groundbreaking story broke?
That's a red flag the size of a billboard. Who registered it? Is it private or linked to a known propaganda network?
Then look for the About Us page.
Is it vague, filled with grandiose mission statements but no named, verifiable editors or physical address? Check the contact page. Is it just a generic form?
A legitimate publication has people, addresses, accountability.
A propaganda outlet or content farm is a ghost ship. It publishes cargo, but no one is home.
This tool reveals the stage sets, websites built not to inform, but to lend false credibility to a PI-packaged narrative.
But the most potent source, the one that gives even fabricated claims their terrifying power, is tool number 4, the misplaced authority. This is when a claim is laundered through a legitimate seeming source that has been twisted or quoted out of context.
A document from the CDC, a quote from a Supreme Court ruling,
a study from a prestigious university. The viral claim will say, the CDC admits, or a Harvard study proves. Your job is to go to the primary source yourself. Do not let someone else interpret it for you. Find the actual CDC document. Read the actual paragraph.
9 times out of 10, you will find the viral claim has done one of 2 things. Quote mining, plucking a single, alarming sentence from a dense report that, in its full context, says the opposite. Or context collapsing, taking a document about a hypothetical scenario or a review of possibilities and presenting it as a statement of fact.
For example, a CDC document discussing planning guidelines for pandemic worst-case scenarios gets stripped
of its conditional language could, might, in the event of, and is presented as the CDC's secret plan for mandatory camps.
By going to the primary source, you restore the context and the claim disintegrates. Now, let's apply this full toolkit to a legendary case study. The Angel of Mons, in September 1914, at the brutal start of World War I, a story swept through England. It claimed that during the British retreat from Mons, supernatural forces intervened. Bowmen from the Battle of Agincourt, or angelic warriors, appeared in the sky, holding back the German advance and saving the British army. It was reported in newspapers. Soldiers swore they saw it.
It was a divine miracle, a national morale booster in a time of despair.
The source.
It was attributed to an anonymous British officer. It spread through letters, newspapers, word of mouth.
It felt true. It was emotionally perfect.
But let's trace it. A writer named Arthur Machen read the early, vague reports of British resilience at Mons.
He was the author of supernatural fiction.
Inspired, he wrote a short story for fun, published in a newspaper, clearly framing it as fiction. The Bowmen.
In his story, ghostly archers from Agincourt saved the day. But then, something happened. The line between his fictional story and actual war reporting blurred. Soldiers at the front, living in unimaginable stress, likely heard the story and their memories conflated it with the fog of war, the strange lights of flares, the power of suggestion. Letters home cited angels. Newspapers, desperate for hopeful news, picked up these second and third-hand accounts from the trenches. They reported the miracle as fact.
Machen, horrified, spent years trying to shout that he had made it up, but it was too late.
The story had escaped its source. It had a life of its own.
The origin was a work of fiction in a London newspaper.
The carrier was the desperate hope of a nation and the chaos of war. By the time people were believing it, the source was untraceable to most. It was just something everyone knew.
This is the ancient PI internet blueprint for every viral lie today.
It shows us the life cycle. Fiction or misinterpretation plus emotional carrier plus opaque transmission equals truth.
This brings us to the final and most important lesson. The digital mutation rate.
In the internet age, the Angel of Mons phenomenon happens at light speed. A satire article from The Onion is stripped of its logo and shared as real news. A thought experiment from a niche blog becomes a leaked government plan. A doctored screenshot of a tweet from a politician goes viral before the real politician could even log on. The mutation is so fast that the original source is buried under 10,000 shares in minutes. This is why our tools must be instinctual.
You must develop a sixth sense for sourcelessness.
When you see a claim and your gut feels that surge of this changes everything,
that is your cue to stop sharing and start digging. Ask, can I find the original study? Can I find the unedited video?
Can I verify this person exists and said this in this context? If the trail is frustratingly opaque, if you keep hitting dead ends or circular references article A cites blog B, which cites forum C, which cites article A, you have likely found the edge of a digital black hole, a claim that exists only because it is being repeated, not because it originated in reality. This is the core mission of Method and Mystery. We don't just tell you what is true or false. We give you the scalpel to perform the autopsy yourself.
In a world where AI
can now generate flawless fake videos and documents, source tracing is no longer just a critical thinking skill, it is a survival skill. It is the only way to anchor yourself in a sea of generated reality.
If you understand that the single greatest superpower you can have in the 21st century is the ability to find where a story truly began, then your next action is non-negotiable. Hit that subscribe button.
By subscribing, you are joining a community of modern detectives. You are telling the algorithm you crave depth over distraction. You are building your own mental immunity.
Click the bell because next week, we use this exact source tracing toolkit on one of the internet's biggest and most persistent mysteries. Who is Satoshi Nakamoto?
We will follow the digital fingerprints, the code, the early emails, and separate the compelling theories from the fabricated evidence. You will see source tracing in its most epic form. Remember this, every mystery, no matter how complex, has a beginning.
Your job is not to believe or disbelieve the story.
Your job is to find its birth certificate. Stay curious, but trace everything. This has been Method and Mystery.